자, 사이파!
Hi, I'm Evan Pantazi. Today we're going to take a look at kata Saifa and a couple of the movements from this kata. Now, it's in Goju, it's in many different styles. Now, I've had the privilege, I go around the world and I teach seminars with many different stylists and practitioners. And I always ask questions on katas because I have a fascination for kata. And one of the katas that comes up every once in a while is Saifa. And I have questions on the back fist or the dropping hand in the beginning. And I want to go over that posture for a second because I just want to explain a couple extra things about this that I'm investigating and working on right now. Now, I have many different breakdowns for this kata. I don't know if I'm going to do a real big expose on it, but I want to see how far I can take some of the concepts because they might ramify on my other katas. All right, and that to me is important. Checking the similarities in different forms. As a matter of fact, the Saifa movement where the hand comes in and drops as we are dropping into a horse stance with the elbow and back fist, that action is almost identical to Weichi-Ru Sei-san, where they come in with a forward movement with a elbow strike, grab, and then back fist turns into a shokin. All right, so it's the same basic idea, this first before the shokin, that you would see in the Saifa, okay, where you've done this action. All right, so there are similarities in these martial arts, and that's what I like to ferret out because the similarities teach you more than the differences. Okay, some people worry about my hand wasn't like this. You got to get past that. You'll learn more when you start looking for similarities, all right? Because that's what ties all the martial arts together. And it came from a very small packet and expanded to the myriads of styles and ideas that we have today. So what were those core ideas in that small packet of original information that were powerful, that were disabling, that would dysfunction the human body? Now, getting into that hand movement with the dropping elbow and the back fist. The back fist is not a disabling technique. It could be a shocking technique for a setup. It could be a quick action to try to escape something. But you're not going to drop an individual with a back fist. I don't care how powerful you are. We've all been hit in the face during sparring or freestyle fighting. And it stuns you, yeah, sure. It shocks you, surprises you, angers you. It does a lot of different things, but it doesn't drop you. All right, so why put it in a kata? Why is it in so many katas if katas are supposed to be a concise teaching packet of really severe techniques to disable and or kill your opponent? All right, so let's investigate that action just a little bit more. Now, when you do this movement, like I said, you've stepped over to the side, right in through here, and you come forward with the palm, you step back, and you drop the elbow, okay, and the fist comes out. Now, this hand is out by the heart. I'm going to touch base with that a little bit later. Now, this action, I've seen many different techniques, both in seminars, as I said, I mentioned, I go to a lot of seminars and ask questions on katas and bunkais and what people's reads are on particular movements. And I also watch YouTube for a particular kata and see what people are coming up with. Now, basically, I get this idea of coming over to the side in here from these correspondences is people are grabbed by the wrist, okay? You step in, you break the grip, you step back, you pull that person right into a back fist to the face. All well and good for beginners in martial arts, but it is not an advanced technique, number one. Number two, it's not going to disable your opponent, especially for a woman against a bigger male. All right, I've seen other techniques where people will grab by the person by the neck and then drop your elbow. And that is fine. I think that's a little bit better, but you're still going to have a muted effect because they're dropping their elbows straight down. They're not even paying attention to the kata. The kata movement comes forward with that dropping elbow, okay? Because as the back fist comes out, that elbow goes forward, okay? And as it retracts, it comes back. And what we have to do is discern why that little action, why is that pronounced in there, all right? And it can't just be, again, a back fist. It could be if that's the limit of where you want to take this. But for more advanced concepts, how could we disable, how could we cessate the life of an opponent that's really coming after us? That's what the kata is about. So, one idea for you, okay, is when you're dropping your elbow, and I've mentioned this many times in the Nahanchi films and whatnot, is you need to come forward if you're hitting the spine. Now the spine, if this was the vertebrae here, you have the nerves that come out to the side, all right, and to get those nerves to dysfunction the person, okay, you need to strike them in toward the spine. Now, when you've got the person bent over, if you just come down backwards, first of all, you're going to hit on soft tissue, the muscle, the tendon, back in through here. You're going to sort of broadside it. And you're going to broadside really strong back muscles. Their arms would probably have been up because they're reaching out for your legs or trying to balance themselves. The back is going to be very strong and the muscles are going to be very tight for you to apply that. You have to send that shock wave into the person's spine. And how you would do that, if you've pulled the person back and sat into the stance and you bring your elbow forward with this, okay, that elbow is going to be able to dig into the spine and then retracting, once it's dug in, dropping. That's where you're going to get the best effect. That's where you're going to see the person's legs shoot out from underneath them. And that will give you a full body dysfunction. Now there are other targets in the spine that will help with the difficulty in breathing for the individual or the opponent, up to and including stopping the breath and even shocking the heart. All right, there are many different serious applications. Also, there are more applications that I really don't want to get into in the public forum. So I'm going to switch off this film right now because we're going into a deeper explanation of the Saifa. I'm going to show you the targets, I'm going to show you two basic bunkais, and then we're going to dig deep with an anatomical study on those. And I'll show you the structures, how they lay, the different depths of them, so you know how far you have to penetrate in and how it correlates with the Saifa kata.